And so we come to the final sequel of the Mummy franchise, The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. And I gotta tell you, this was the one I wanted to review the least. That's how bad I thought it was. Now, you remember when I did that video with Lindsay many, 2 years ago, and we briefly discussed about this film?
God, you poor soul.
Jen Lee! Seriously! Were you bored?
I mean,
Was it the money? And Brendan Fraser get new haircuts! Sorry.
Thank you.
Tell them why it's bad.
Anyway, yeah, you do. So, to try to make things a little easier, I'm gonna see if I can get her to review it with me. Yeah, let's see. Oh, hi, Lindsay. Want to review The Mummy 3 with me? Oh, I'll take that as a no. Well, guess I'll have to face this crap alone. God help me!
Sadly, more often than not, the third film in a franchise is usually the one that tends to suck. Such examples include Jurassic Park 3, Neverending Story 3, and the film I have to review today, The Mummy 3, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. So what's wrong with it? Well, for starters, only 2 members of the original cast are still around. For instance, Rachel Weisz is in it due to the fact that she thought the script sucked. She's not the only one who thinks that. And the sender is replaced by Maria Bello, who I'm sure she is trying, but her British accent is so put on. I mean, the only way her British accent could be any more put on is if she did this. Oh, and Alex, that little kid from The Mummy Returns, instead of being a little British kid, he's now grown up into a tall American person. I mean, honestly, could they not just get the original guy to play the part?
Hey, here's a wise move. If you're not going to get all the cast together, don't do the film! Is it really that hard? So what's the plot of this film? Well, this one is a little easier to explain because it's just the mummy plot from the first film, except for a few differences, like, 1, it's set in China, not in Africa, and 2, it sucks! Sorry. Well, anyway, the now American Alex decides to go around excavating in China. And he goes to this mummy bit, and what do you know, they just walk straight into booby traps. So, how thick are these people? Booby traps? Honestly, I mean, yeah, granted, okay, I mean, like, didn't his parents tell him about booby traps from the first film? For God's sake! How do they get qualified if they keep falling into booby traps? Sorry. That just drove me mental. Another problem with this film was the action scenes. They're badly paced, poorly edited, and they could be great, they could be fantastic, but if you can't see them and they're rushed, then how can you appreciate them? I mean, would you find an action scene that great if this happened?
On guard, you vile fiend! I shall turn mincemeat out of you! Yes, you think you got the better of me? Take that, you vile fiend! I shall turn mincemeat out of you!
I also like the fact that when they show the mummy for the first time, he has a beard, and then when he regenerates, he has no beard at all. Like, yeah, either that's a continuity error, or the undead like their bodies clean shaven. Somehow, I think the first one seems the more likely option. But don't worry, this mummy does have a weakness. Whereas in the previous films, the weaknesses consist of reading the Golden Book to make him mortal, or the mummy mortal, or killing the Scorpion King to control his army and sending him back to the underworld. This one involves stabbing in the heart. Yeah, because I can't think of a supernatural being whose weakness is also being stabbed in the heart who would sue about that.
Your earth is mine, Mummy 3.
On a plus note, one of the abilities this mummy has is the ability to morph into creatures. In one case, a 3-headed dragon. Although on the other hand, it's kind of sad that, considering this is a film directed by Rob Cohen, that none of the heads of this dragon have the voice of Sean Connery in it. That is disappointing.
I am the last one! No, I am the last one! No, I am the last one!
Oh, and also in this film, Brendan Fraser continues his shouting parade, and there's actually a moment where he goes up to this and there's family right behind him, by the way. They go up, they are by a cliff with some sort of temple or something like that. They go up there, and he turns around with his family right behind him, who can clearly see where this temple is, and goes, "We're here!" Now, that doesn't help at all. In fact, it actually makes things worse for 2 reasons. One, that amount of noise can cause an avalanche, and 2, the mummy might actually hear you. So no, he might know where to go. Did you not take that into account? God, this film is stupid!
And the CGI for this film, although granted not as bad as The Mummy Returns, is still pretty crap. I mean, look at these Yetis. I mean, the Sugar Puff monster looks more realistic, for God's sake!
And eventually it comes to the final climax of the film. And this is where there is a major, major plot hole, which I really must draw here. Because he is facing Alex and Rick O'Connell, and they are about to face the mummy in his human form, although he does turn into some sort of Bigfoot wannabe at one point, but then he comes back to his normal self again. Here's my problem with it. Why didn't he just turn into the dragon again? You know, 3 giant heads against 2 people. I think we know what the outcome would be like. I mean, my God, for an ancient mummy who has so many powers, he seems to cost intelligence, doesn't he? I mean, like, that would have saved you a lot of trouble, for God's sake. And now for my final conclusion on the film. I mean, the Mummy franchise, good. Mummy 1 and 2, good. Mummy 3, sucks! I mean, the editing and action scenes are poorly rushed, paced, and everything. I think replacing the actors with actors who don't do half as good a job as the previous actors do is just an insult. And the script is appalling, and the Mummy isn't really that inventive. I mean, like, you think of his weaknesses and his motives, they're nothing we haven't seen before. And he doesn't even bring the horror factor of the first Mummy film either. So, in many ways, this is really bad. But, with that said, at least I've reviewed all the Mummy films now. I don't have to over them whatsoever.
Always look on the bright side.
Hello?
Quick, open the Golden Book and read the inscription.
Right, okay, Jesus, didn't expect it to be that small. Go to hell and take your pussy with you! Hope next month's Halloween won't be so eventful.
Wah. Wee.